It's the Date Master. We're back. Another interesting topic. And, people saying, why you call himself the Date Master? But he's talking about introspective topics such as this. Like I said, when you look at dating, relationships are a foundation to development. Your relationship with your mother, your father, your peers, your social development. Those are key parts into how your personality will shape out as you mature as a man. It will shape out to what avenues you take in life. The way your relationships go, they will take a toll on you. So this is developmental aspects that I can speak on because I have lived a very interesting life. Let me guess. Everybody's perfect. Everybody's perfect. You see the social media, you see the cars, the money, the smiles in every picture, 3, 4, 5 selfies a day. Nobody has went through nothing in life. Everybody has a clean slate, yet you got so much chaos, which is the residual of damaged people. The murder, the violence, the poverty, the obesity, the over sexualization, the sexual medication. All of these traumas that we see right in front of us, nobody has went through nothing. Nobody has went through no kind of issues with their parents. I beg to differ. I beg to differ. And, you definitely want to honor your parents, but you also want to understand things about yourself that will relieve a lot of stress. Stress comes from uncertainty, anxiety, depression, all of these things. I can speak to it because I dealt with it. That's why I started this channel. I can talk to a lot of these issues. Chasing your father's approval is it's a task if you were not equipped or not groomed for the success that you chose to pursue. A lot of the times our fathers have a low window. They have a low ceiling for success for us because they had a low ceiling for success for themselves. And nothing is like a lot of time people look at things good and bad. Some things are what they are. It's no good or bad. If a man doesn't want to elevate to his highest level, then that's his choice. But he has to deal with the consequences that come with that choice. If a man wants to take himself to the highest level, he has to deal with its consequences on both sides. You just want to pick which benefits outweigh the consequences. So a lot of the times your father will set a low ceiling for you. They won't have high expectations because again, they didn't have high expectations of themselves. But what this will breed as you take certain paths, it's going to be a small percentage of you that will, truly take this pill, this red pill, and go down the rabbit hole from your religion to politics to just breaking down your overall development from child to adulthood. And you'll have the brain capacity to understand and really study. A lot of the times people just want to read something for 6 minutes and they think they can just, hey, I can debate this. No, you have to really study this hours, hours, hours. And once you get a firm understanding of some things, you'll realize the type of man and the type of people your mother and father were. You'll see who was the problem. You'll see what role each of them played into whatever situation that they found themselves in, whether that included you, your siblings, or not. But a lot of cases, men pursue their father's approval, and that's the one man that you sometimes you can't. It takes a long time to get their approval. A lot of times, fathers become emotionally callous because of how the world has treated them, and they get to a point where they can't even give that same love or give the love they used to give to their children when they were, smaller or kids or babies. The world has affected them because they didn't know how to isolate themselves from the world as they navigate through it. So when a man does not respect his father, you see, awkward interaction is short, is not sincere, it's no kind of positive conversation, then motivation. It's none of that. It's just forced interaction. I'm only speaking with you because I see you, or if I come and visit, etc., and you're here, I got to speak to you just out of respect. But that respect, it dwindles down as you see some of the things that you don't want to be. A lot of we don't want to be like our fathers. We don't want to be like our fathers because we see that our fathers, in a lot of cases, were beta and low level and did not pursue the excellence that we can see is so abundant to those who strive to get it. We start to hold resentment when we see what's tolerated and what's pushed. My father pushed me to chase women. That's all he was concerned with. He was hell bent on me getting a lot of women because that's how he rolled in his younger days. He was hell bent. He used to love seeing me bring girls home. And I used to bring them home and I show him pictures just for his approval. Because this is what I think I'm supposed to do. Beautiful girls. Beautiful women. But as I matured, I realized that teaching was incorrect. That teaching was incorrect. That should have been focused on purpose and goals. Getting women is not a goal. That shouldn't be a goal for men. Having sex with women is not a goal. But I was doing this, and I'm sure a lot of men have ran into this with their father pushing them to pursue superficial things or, live vicariously through their son. They see their son's a player. He has this type of degree. He's dealing with these women. He's living vicariously through you because he can't do that anymore because he's grown older. But he sees a splitting image of himself, and he says, this is what you need to do. This is what you need to do. And I was a late bloomer. Coming out. I was almost 18 before I, got in that wet. Had my first encounter with a lady, sexually. This was my girlfriend. I think I did it the right way. This is the crazy part. We was dating for about 6 months. She's pushing the envelope. She's already experienced. I wasn't. And, I just picked a date because, like I said, that peer pressure was coming on. I was one of the guys that wanted to do it the right way. I wanted to, I'm all beta, blue pill. I want to be in love. I want to be, we do all this. I'm on this lame shit again. I'm young. I'm 17, but I'm still kind of, like I said, I'm still savvy with the women. But at this point, this is my girlfriend. Okay, all my people, my homeboys, they got girls. I said, I'm gonna get me a girl. But as I matured and looked at the route that I took with, these different women, none of these women are present. Some of these women are married. Some of them are not. Some of them have kids. Some of them don't. But none of those experiences really benefited me other than giving me the understanding and knowledge that I have now. So, but this made me go back and look at my father differently as to why he would push his son to, chase sex so aggressively. What was it? What was the attention diverted from? And a lot of times people will use these things as self-medication or ways to distract them from problems that they don't want to face, problems that they don't want to take accountability for. So make you look at your father as if you're a weak man. You're a weaker man because sex was your motivating factor. Not excellence, not notoriety for great works, but sex. And we're coming into a generation now where a lot of men and women are going, we have access to these resources and we can see common behaviors and dysfunctional people and we see them in our parents and people in our family. And people don't want you to speak on these topics because it's taboo. You don't supposed to talk about your parents like that. I love my parents. I love my father. But this is definitely an analysis and an observation that a lot of men need to take a look into if they find themselves with a lot of questions on where they are and why they are in that place in life. You can't let the world rush you. You can't let it put the pressure on you to be a certain way, to be this way, to hold your tongue on this topic and all of this. We feel consequence too much when what we're standing on is in truth. You can't feel the consequences from standing on truth and facts. The consequences are only going to be from those who don't want to acknowledge or accept it. So you chase your father's approval. You're trying to get your money right. You're trying to get your business right. You staying in shape. And a lot of those efforts to get that approval, it may not happen. It may not happen. You may have achieved great feats, yet your father may be too prideful to acknowledge them because he couldn't achieve a fraction of what you achieved. Or what you achieved trumps his achievement tenfold. If you find yourself losing respect for your father, you have to forgive him, understand him, and especially if he's still married to your mother. Even if he's not, you want to respect and understand why he's in that situation. People are gonna make their own choices. They're gonna make their own decisions. They're gonna live their own lives, and you cannot be the punching bag for their emotional turmoil that they refuse to address. You need to do some kind of therapy. You may not have to see a therapist, but you need to look inside and heal, take an inventory on everything that you dislike about yourself, find out why you dislike it, what it is, and you change it, and you adjust, and you adapt. And you will start to look at your father in a better light, and it won't be so painful to think about the fact that you may never get his approval. It may be painful, to acknowledge that he has checked out of, the family business. When I say family business, that means the dealings, the you know orchestration, the planning of events, things like that. He's stepped back from being in the front to sitting in the back because he can't take no more. His body and mind has grown weary. You seen this Kirk Franklin and his son exchange, and I'm gonna talk about that briefly before I get out. It was just painful to watch a father and son speak that way to each other. It just shows the resentment that both of them have for one another. And a lot of men that have sons, they don't respect their sons because of decisions that they've made. It goes both ways. It goes both ways. So just like there's mommy issues, you do have daddy issues, where the father will have issues the son will have issues with the father. But once you address these issues, once you address these things, have that conversation and just let them know that you understand. And this will make you a better man for the woman that you choose. If you choose to get married and build a family, you won't have this type of dynamic with your son. Because they say an apple don't fall too far from the tree. If that apple fell too close to the ground, make sure you don't. Make sure you strive for greatness and seek no approval. You just put in the work, put in the time, put in the effort, and be positive, have some integrity about the goals you're trying to achieve, and don't let the world ruin you and have your son disrespecting you. It's the Day Master.